everybody.
Now, David, tell us, how long ago was it when you actually joined Banners Broker?
28th of May, after an interesting call with Ian Driscoll.
That was last year then, I take it?
Yeah, last year, yeah. I bought 2 more Triple Blues. So I came in with $1,240 and $30 and saw how it was growing. Unfortunately, I made a business decision, which I was urged to do, which was to get the money that I'd put in, get it out. So I made it for free, which I did in October.
So you drew your money out pretty quickly?
Yeah, in October.
Okay.
I drew the money out and look at what's happened since then. It's just amazing. I've been in it for free since October. It's unbelievable.
So tell me, how did you find Banners Broker? What sort of brought you to and made you actually join BB?
Well, a friend of Ian Driscoll, he just asked me to have a word with Ian. I'd never met Ian before, heard about him, and I spoke to Ian. Of course, the penny dropped. The other thing he said was, anything you spend, David, I guarantee that in 40 days you don't like it, I'll give you your money back.
Right,
that was quite a big incentive. And so I'm so glad that he talked to me.
Now, I know some questions that I get asked from my team, my subscribers, people that I meet in the street, when we talk about Banners Broker business. And some people say, oh, no, it's not for me, it's multi-level marketing, it's a Ponzi scheme. I mean, what would you say to those people?
Well, no, it's not like that at all. It's if you take Google, for instance, very powerful company, the most powerful company in the world now, it's getting that way, 28 billion last year turnover. If you had a Google and you were invited to come to share in the profits of Google, would you be interested? I think most people would. Most people know Google, and it's that sort of business. And you can be completely autonomous within the business. You don't need people, other people's money in order to sustain the business. Your business stands on its own 2 feet. You can do it completely independent of others. But I defy you to join this business and to have the success in it without telling somebody else. Yeah. And when you tell somebody else, such as my dentist, my financial advisor, if you tell anyone about it, they want to know, can I join? And it is only by an introduction. You've got to invite them into the business, which makes it private as well. It's a totally different scheme it's unique. Chris Smith has been inspired.
And who is Chris Smith?
Pardon?
And who is Chris Smith?
Chris Smith is the founder, the owner.
Yeah.
He's a co-founder, but he's the actual owner of this business. And he's just a marvellous, wonderful human being.
You've met Chris, have you, I take it?
Yes. And look what he's doing into the world. I mean, this business enables you to do such wonderful things, such as Dixon, a tall Maasai guy, very tall, living in the slums of Nairobi, and I came upon him. He was in desperate situation. Could I introduce him to anyone who could buy fish hooks? He could make fish hooks, and I said to him, "No, I'll do something better than that. I'll introduce you to this business." He said, "No, I've been in so little money I've had saved up. It's all gone. I've been scammed on the internet." He was in an internet cafe at the time. And I said, doesn't matter, come into this business. I'm bringing you into the business. And within 2 months...
Did you pay it forward?
Yeah, I paid it forward for him to enable him. Because, the maximum they can make in a month is $60 in Kenya if they've got a really good job. And he didn't have a job. No one's got a job. He's in the slum. And he's saying to me, the next thing I'll be doing, my kids can't go to school, can't afford it. I've got my elderly parents to feed. I'm looking desperately to find a way of putting food on the table, along with a lot of other people in the same situation. I brought him on within 2 months. But anyway, he did that, and bless him, now he's moved out of the slum. He's helping a hell of a lot of people down there. People are, I brought him onto the chat. We chatted about it, brought it out into the open. It inspired a lot of people in the chat room who are also doing very well. And they asked if there's any other families that they could assist. And Julie Templeton, one of the leading lights, she's also fortunate. I was fortunate enough to bring her into the business, and she is now organising various people. Dixon finds the families that he's going to help and bring into the business, and somebody in the UK pays it forward for them to come into it. And we've got, I mean, I've brought his church has come in, his pastor, and so forth. And now Dixon's he's moved out of the slum, he's into an apartment, he's helping people because he's a pretty intelligent guy. And he's also got enough money to get married. He's got a wife and 3 children, but not been married in the church. That costs money.
Wow.
Could never afford it. He's now having his wedding on the 1st of December. From the benefit of Banner's broker, and he's telling all his friends. And there's a big upsurge in Kenya. He's got a guy in Uganda. He's got various African countries, and hopefully BB is going to change the world of so many of the citizens of Africa.
So BB is truly changing lives around the world.
Absolutely.
So obviously the pyramid thing.
Well, how can it be a pyramid if I go into it? I can be completely independent with nobody, and yet I can do 25% less. That's what you earn, because you have to buy your traffic instead of it coming up from behind.
So with recruitment, you get free sales credits, but if you don't, you buy the traffic and you getting. It's costing you 25%.
With referring, it costs literally 25. It also, by referring, the company likes you to refer, and they reward you for referring by sales credits, not by money, because that's illegal. It's going to be illegal. So they're very, very keen on compliance with everything that the authorities of the various countries want them to comply to, and they're making sure that they're doing that for the longevity of the program.
Okay, super. I know Chris Smith's his vision and the whole ethos of the company is to grow it and be a people's business and to help the man off the street make some money.
I mean, I know. Very early on, we had one of the co-founders come over to Heathrow. I had a meeting there, and I met up with a guy from the city, very successful guy from the city, and he went over to Banner's broker. He used to be at Merrill Lynch. He's at Merrill Lynch for 8 years, interviewing CEOs and boards of directors regarding their suitability for their company for receiving money from Merrill Lynch. He went over.
Are they Forex traders or something? Right?
Yeah. He's
bankers.
He's rated as the number 3 Forex trader in the world.
Okay.
On the independent side, although he's got a company in the city that he's doing this Forex trading through. But anyway, and he's looking after billionaires and their investments with Swiss bank accounts. And his opinion to me, after going over there, bearing in mind 8 years at Merrill Lynch, looking at companies for their suitability for loans and so forth, he went over there. 72 hours he spent with Chris and the co-founders, and looked at the company from every angle. He had complete transparency. He said, I know the questions to ask, and I asked them, and they came through with flying colours. My advice to you, 20 years reputation in the city, David, is to put everything that you've got into this that you can afford without endangering, obviously, a good business practice. And so you can't get a more qualified, more complete person.
Yeah,
to look
endorsement
at
of the business. Yeah,
there can't be a more professional endorsement in the world. And my 20 years reputation in the city rides on that. And he said, that's what I'm advising you to do.
Because I know we spoke earlier off camera, but I know you said that Steve, the guy in the city, wanted to bring his millionaire friends, and BB didn't want their money.
Yeah, that just shows you the integrity of this company, that the billionaires, multi-billionaires, could bring in $500,000, $1 million at a time. That was turned down by the owners because they, as Chris said, it's a legacy he wants to leave. It's the people of the world, not the extremely wealthy to become even more wealthy, but to help people, ordinary people, achieve a much better lifestyle. And of course, in Africa, change the lives of so many in Africa, which is able to do, which I'm able to do because I'm in a position where I can help as well. So that's fantastic, and that just proves that it's not a bond. It's not a. I mean, for heaven's sake, 7 months we went, and they didn't even collect the admin charge. Now, what company would do that? That's out for all the money they can get. It doesn't happen.
Because I think
any other company, it doesn't happen.
There was more people coming in they could cope with, and obviously
they're not running out of money. Otherwise, they'd be chasing us all for money all the time.
And I think people worry that the new people coming in and buying into the business is paying the people at the top. I mean, I know that can't happen. It's because it's only one tier down, isn't it?
Your business is completely...
Because I know it's only one tier down, isn't it? It's like...
it's just a fantastic business. I mean, everyone's pinching themselves. Is this a dream? I mean, Dixon in Kenya, you know, he phoned me up around about Christmas and said, "This is what I owe you, David. What can I tell you what you've done for me?" He said, "My wife sings me praises every day. My children are going to school and laughing and happy, and I'm able to feed them. You know, I've got my own computer. I've got unlimited broadband. Nobody here, all my neighbours in the slum. This is in the slum." Coming round to me in the morning to see my computer and see what's happened to the business and so forth. He said, "It's just amazing. I'm in dreamland." And then he said, came on to me and he said, "I've just had so many $300 come into my e-wallet overnight. Do you realise that's more than the middle class people here earn in a month? You know, and it came in overnight." And it comes in, you know, more or less every week.
Now, I know we're not allowed to talk about specific earnings, but if we could sort of try and take a gauge of a monthly income, say of a wealthy banker in London that made 100 grand a year, what sort of money are you making a month? Without telling us the exact figure.
Okay. Well, when I was working, and which was a very lucrative, I was independent, going into advertising agencies, bringing in lots of work for printers, who are now, I mean, they did 33 million turnover the other day, but last, but I am now earning more, and I was earning very well in that. I'm earning more than I ever did then, and I'm retired, and I'm not working hard.
So if you were making 50 grand a year in your job, you could be making that in a month.
Well, I was making over that. I was making over 100 when I was
100 grand a year.
Employed. I was 120, and now I'm in excess of that.
A month?
Not a month. Not
Right.
120 grand.
Say half that.
Yeah. Well, you're being specific now.
Okay. Yeah.
It's embarrassingly good.
Yeah. And that's the power of online advertising,
absolutely,
which is where the money's coming from.
Yeah.
Well,
and
David,
it's a growth industry.
I want to thank you for that. That's a very inspiring interview, and I'm sure people watching are very inspired from that.
You're welcome.
So, guys, what I get from that, and talking to David there, is if you're thinking of coming into this fantastic business, it's not about coming in to help you, it's to help other people. And as David said, you know, the earnings, the money he's making enough money now, more money than he actually needs himself, but he's using that money to help his friends and his family and change other people's lives. So if you're looking for an internet business and you want to come in and make some money, but the most important thing with this is the power of paying it forward and helping others and helping your friends and helping our children in these tough times, you know, in this tough economy, offline. This is the age of the digital entrepreneur. We are in the digital age, so it's time to get an internet business. And, you know, people all around the world, lives are being changed by Banners Broker. So you'll probably find a link underneath this video. If you click on that link, you'll see that there is a special invite link. As David said earlier, you can't get into Banners Broker unless you're actually invited. So you've got that opportunity now. Your invite link will be underneath this video. Set up your free account.